Hey everybody! Today I want to spend some time to talk about labels, and these can be labels that we give ourselves over our lifetime. They can be labels that are given to us that we don't have control over. But I want to talk about labels and how overall, even though a lot of people like the security of labels because they help define you, I want to explore the other side of it, where sometimes labels can do harm, where instead of defining you, they're confining you into thinking you can only do that. So I want to touch on where labels come from. Some labels are given to us by society, like our, what we're born into, like our race, our religion, our gender. And these are labels that we can't do anything about. Some labels, however, we choose, such as our career. The fact that I'm a psychologist, I chose to put that label on myself by pursuing a career in psychology. However, does that mean that that's all I am? I'm a psychologist, yes, and I love that, and I love what I do, and I think it does affect a lot of different parts of my personality, but at the same time, I have a lot of other things that I enjoy doing that have absolutely nothing to do with being a psychologist. So I think it's really important for us to not get tied down into the label that we are to the point where we stop thinking or growing or exploring. Because yes, labels can be good in defining us to some degree, but they can also be bad in that we rely on them and so we stop growing. So for example, let's think about someone who labels themselves as being an extrovert, right? So if they were to stop thinking and just kind of rely on that label to define who they are, they would think, I'm an extrovert, so that means that I need to be outgoing, and I need to be talkative, and I need to be the life of the party all the time. And they feel like if they're not that, then what are they? Like suddenly they're out of character. And that's not the case. Just because you're an extrovert doesn't mean you always have to be bubbly and outgoing and talkative. Generally speaking, you might be, but there's always different things to that, different moods, different situations, the environment, what's happened that day, all those things affect it. And just the fact that you're an extrovert doesn't mean you can't do things and succeed at things that an introvert might. So, for example, maybe you enjoy writing. You can write a book, you can do things, but if you define yourself as, oh no, I only do this because this is the type of person I am, then it limits what you're actually capable of, and you're limiting your own potential by putting yourself in a box. So, I want to challenge you guys to think a little bit about what those labels are that either have been given to you or that you've given to yourself over your lifetime. And to see if somehow thinking of yourself in that light does any harm, limits you in some way. Like, I'm good at math, so that means that I'm not good at writing. Like, to think that way, you might be really good at math, yes, and that's great, but does that mean you're not good at writing? No, you might still be a decent writer. Just give yourself a chance. Okay? So, I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to talking about something interesting next week again. Okay? Have a great weekend. Bye.